Suffolk Downs will celebrate what is very likely the final day of racing at the 79-year-old racetrack on Saturday with a series of tributes featuring the horses and people who have built the track's rich tradition dating all the way back to its opening in 1935. The track, losing money, seemed destined for closure last November when East Boston voters rejected plans for a casino there. Suffolk Downs then brought on Mohegan Sun to develop a casino on the Revere side of the property, only to have the Massachusetts Gaming Commission kill that plan last month when the panel picked Wynn Resorts in Everett instead. Joining us now is Chip Tuttle, COO at Suffolk Downs. And Chip, I want to bring you up to date on a little bit of news, and I'm sure you're aware of this by now, that broke this afternoon. 3 people tied to the land involved with the Everett deal. They've been indicted for fraud after not telling the Gambling Commission or Wynn Resorts that a known mafia associate was one of the land's owners. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's puzzling, you know, and it's big news, obviously. It's hard to see. The Gaming Commission tried to set up a process that was beyond reproach and would stand up to public scrutiny and wanted to make sure that nothing like this happened. And in this case, it turns out that they asked for assurances from the landowners in Everett, and it appears that those assurances, there certainly can be called into question. I'm not sure how they can let that land purchase go through based on the idea that criminals will benefit from the award of a license in Everett.
We'll see what happens with that. That's still to come. Of course, more news on that as the day goes on, I'm sure, in the days to come. Let's talk about your situation. The race not over yet. The New England Horsemen's Benevolent and Protective Association submitted an application to the Gaming Commission today to bring back live thoroughbred racing at Suffolk Downs in 2015. Tell us more about that.
So we didn't file an application ourselves. The track hasn't been profitable since 2006, and our owners, led by Richard Fields and Joe O'Donnell, local businessmen, have been very, very generous, investing almost $60 million over the last 7 years to keep racing going. So we feel like it's the end of the road for us, but the horsemen, the folks who run the races at Suffolk Downs, their association, came to us and said, hey, we'd like to give this a shot. Would you be open to an agreement where we lease the track from you, or you manage it for us? And we've said we'll keep an open mind. It's a daunting task. The economics are very, very difficult. We'll probably lose about $10 million this year, and so they'd have to figure out a way to shift the economics somehow to make a go of it.
Sure. What are some of the options for the horsemen, if not Suffolk Downs?
So the only 2 license applications that were filed for thoroughbreds with the Massachusetts Gaming Commission were the horsemen filing the provisional license, if they could come to a deal with us, if they can get some changes in the law to make it easier for the operator at Suffolk Downs. And then the folks, the Carney family down in Brockton at the fairgrounds down at the Brockton Fair, they filed a fair meet, which is a little different. Ours is a 1-mile track. Theirs is a 5/8 mile track. We have stabling for 1,000 horses. I'm not sure they have any suitable stabling down there. So it would, the options for the horsemen right now are few and far between, unfortunately.
Jobs lost here, and you worked with these people every day. I mean, you've had a chance now since the decision came down to take a look back, I'm sure, and assess the situation, but assess the future for a lot of these people that you called coworkers.
Well, and that's been the hardest part of this process, was going back to the track and talking to the employees and talking to the horsemen. For many of these people, they're not highly skilled laborers, and they're not going to work next week in Kendall Square or in the innovation economy. These are people who maybe have been they've been bet takers, mutual clerks for the last 20 or 30 years, or they're people who work with horses. And for many of them, it's as much a job, it's a way of life. And so it's very difficult on those people to hear that the Gaming Commission made a judgment, and that judgment was that their livelihoods and their jobs didn't matter as much as perhaps the future promise of jobs 3, 4, 5 years down the road at Wynn's project in Everett, if they can ever clean up all the issues surrounding that project.
Tell us about what's coming up on Saturday.
So Saturday, our final day of live racing was supposed to be this past Monday. We moved it to Saturday, October 4th, because we had an outpouring of support. A whole bunch of people asked us. They wanted to be able to come and enjoy and celebrate the last day, so we moved it to a Saturday. We've got some special guests coming back, some of the jockeys, local legends like Rudy Baez and Carl Gambardella, who competed for years in New England. We've got some Hall of Fame jockeys that have sent us best wishes. by video, and we're going to start the day at 12:45. We'll have 9 races, very competitive, full fields. And we're going to take a look back before each race and in each Winner's Circle celebration, sort of celebrate the history of the place back to 1935, all the famous horses that have run there and some of the other personalities, but horses like Cigar, Skip Away, Seabiscuit, and really try to make a day out of it and go out in style.
You know, you look at Suffolk Downs, and it may be the end of horse racing there, but you also sit on a parcel of land that could be extremely valuable moving forward.
Yeah, it is.
Even more so than a casino there.
Well, it's 150 plus very attractive acres on a regional highway, 10 minutes from downtown Boston, 5 minutes from the airport, and it has the advantage of being on not 1 but 2 MBTA stations. So it is a very valuable property, and part of that, I mean, the owners, I'm sure, will do very well, and there will be some future development at the property. It's really the folks that work there and the horsemen that are our main concern right now.
Understandable. Chip Tuttle, we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
COO of Suffolk Downs joining us today.